Welcome to the Sickbay Security and Active Shooter Response Exercise Briefing. My name is Chris Floyd. I'm with the Disaster Resistant Communities Group and will be leading today's briefing. Over the next few minutes, we're going to discuss a number of important topics leading up to the exercise. These topics will ensure that your participation in the exercise is successful. First topic is exercise basics. Referring to exercise basics, the exercise will be played out via the internet, so it will be important for you to have high-speed internet access on the day of the exercise. You'll only need one computer. Display that computer's monitor through an LCD projector or flat panel monitor so the larger team participating in the exercise can follow along in the various scenarios and injects as you move through the exercise. You want to make sure you have Internet Explorer 7.0 or greater installed on that computer, as well as have the ability to access and view YouTube videos. It's really important to check with your IT department to make sure the computer you're using has that YouTube viewing capability. Most important of all, make sure you have appropriate plans and procedures dealing with an active shooter event occurring at your hospital available so that you may consult them during the exercise. The scope or mission of the exercise. The timeline begins approximately 3 hours before the shooting event occurs in your emergency department. An accident victim arrives by ambulance, and despite the hospital's heroic efforts to save her life, she winds up dying. A few moments after she dies, her husband arrives. He's informed that she lost her life due to the accident, and he becomes very irate, blaming the hospital and the incompetency of the doctors and staff for the loss of his wife. He begins to blame the hospital and make threats that he will get even before storming out of the hospital. Several hours later, he returns and begins a shooting rampage within the emergency department. Law enforcement then arrives, and over the next 2 hours of the exercise, you'll be responsible for playing through a number of injects and scenarios dealing with panicky staff and patients right around to standing up your hospital incident command system. Plan at least 2.5 to 3 hours to participate in this exercise. It will be self-paced, meaning that some teams will move through the exercise quicker than others, and some may take more than 3 hours because it will be self-paced. On the day of the exercise, it's important that everyone who is participating pre-registers to participate in the exercise. This is important for several reasons. First off, important exercise information will be shared with all participants prior to the exercise to make sure they have a comfort level and understand the scenarios and what is expected of them on the day of the exercise. Number two, on the day of the exercise, you will play out as one large team. Only one individual will need to activate and log into one computer and display it through an LCD projector. That individual that is at the computer will be driving the actual play of the exercise. That person will need to have pretty good computer skills and have the ability to type in the various responses and discussions that the larger group will work through. The person at the computer does not need to be the individual who is leading the group discussion. Think of the individual at the computer as the scribe for the exercise, capturing all the discussion, responding to the various injects and questions that are presented, while the individual who is conducting or facilitating the exercise needs to be the person that keeps the exercise moving forward, has a base knowledge of the hospital's response capabilities. Everyone else, all the other team members, will be participating in the exercise via the discussion mode, so they will not need to have a computer. However, after the exercise is over, each individual that has pre-registered for the exercise will receive an email giving them guidance to log into the Onyx system and complete their evaluation, also known as a hot wash, of items that went well for your team as it played through the exercise, and those areas that you can improve upon due to the learning opportunities presented during the exercise. So I'm going to kind of repaint the picture here with team participation. Everyone that's participating needs to register. Day of the exercise, one person, one computer logs in, displays their monitor through an LCD projector. The person at the computer will act as the scribe, while the exercise controller or facilitator will lead the discussion amongst all the team participants. You'll work from scenario to scenario, inject to inject. After the exercise is over, all registered participants will log in to complete their individual evaluation or hot wash. All that information becomes part of your all of that information becomes part of your hospital's after action report. With that, that concludes our exercise briefing. We hope your participation in the exercise will be a successful one.